Welcome to Conversations for a Better You. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell to stay inspired and keep growing with us.
All right, ready for a deep dive. Today we're tackling something you might think you know, but stick around because we're going deep. Creatine. You probably think bodybuilders, right?
Yeah, it's got that reputation.
But get this, a whole world of benefits beyond bulking up, backed by science. Our guide is Dr. Borja Bandera. He's the Spanish doctor, super popular on YouTube, explains complex stuff, nutrition, hormones, all that. He did this video all about the latest creatine research, and, well, it's pretty eye-opening.
Oh, yeah.
Our mission, we're going to explore, the less obvious ways to use creatine monohydrate. See if it's something, you or I, even if we're not hitting the gym hardcore, should think about.
Makes sense.
First, though, quick recap. What even is creatine?
Okay, so it's a molecule, 3 amino acids. Our bodies, get this, make it naturally.
No kidding.
Yeah, but we can also get it from food, meat, fish, that sort of thing, or supplements.
Right. Supplements. Okay, but, what's the big deal?
The really interesting part is it's like a power source. For our cells, think of it like this. Creatine helps recycle ATP.
ATP?
Yeah, ATP, it's called the energy currency of life, because it's what powers every single cell in us. And creatine, it makes sure we've got a constant supply of this energy.
So, our cells are running on ATP, and creatine helps keep them topped up.
Precisely. It's essential for, everything we do.
That analogy with the energy, that clicks, for sure. I mean, we all know energy is important, but I never thought of it at the, cell level.
Right. And it's not simple. We can't just store up ATP like we do fat or carbs.
Huh.
Imagine, a light bulb. Needs electricity to stay lit.
I see.
Our cells are the same, needing that constant flow of ATP to function.
Okay, that makes sense. But hold on, most people think creatine, they think muscles, building muscle, getting stronger, which it works for, right?
Absolutely it does.
But I'm getting the feeling there's way more to this story.
Oh, there's so much more. Let's think about endurance sports, for example.
Endurance.
Yeah, it might seem counterintuitive, right? Are you into running, by any chance? Cycling? Swimming, maybe?
Well, I dabble.
You might be surprised by this.
Okay, I'm listening.
So creatine, it can cause a bit of water weight gain. Not fat, though. But the research is showing more and more that it could benefit endurance athletes, too.
Really? How so?
For one, it seems to help with how our bodies replenish glycogen. That's crucial for energy after, a tough workout.
Right.
And there's evidence it reduces inflammation and even, get this, boosts the creation of new powerhouses within our cells, called mitochondria.
Mitochondria, that sounds pretty intense. What's that mean for someone, say, training for a marathon?
Well, mitochondria, they produce energy within our cells. So basically, creatine's like helping your cells build more energy factories.
Wow, more energy factories.
Exactly, which could be more stamina, faster recovery, all that good stuff.
Okay, that's pretty remarkable. Creatine helping with endurance, it seems so opposite to, the whole muscle building thing. It's making me rethink what I thought I knew, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it challenges the assumptions for sure, but it gets even wilder. Research now suggests creatine might actually act as a neurotransmitter in the brain.
Hold on. Neurotransmitter.
Yep, much like dopamine, serotonin, those guys.
Wow. So we're talking potential impacts on mood, focus, maybe even stuff like depression. This is getting really interesting.
Exactly. And that leads us to another exciting area, the potential for creatine in Alzheimer's disease. Imagine if this common supplement could help fight such a devastating condition.
That'd be incredible. But how could creatine even play a role in something as complex as Alzheimer's?
Well, research has linked Alzheimer's to, you guessed it, energy problems in the brain.
Right, back to the energy.
And remember how creatine helps support ATP production, that vital cellular energy. So by boosting energy levels in the brain, creatine might be able to ease some of these problems and improve symptoms. It's early days, research-wise, but animal studies are showing promise.
So there's a connection, it seems, between brain energy and overall cognitive function. And speaking of brain health, there's that other finding, creatine and depression risk. Big study showed people who ate more creatine had a lower risk of developing depression.
Right, and this ties back to the neurotransmitter theory. Creatine could be much more crucial for mental health than we realized, especially for people whose diets are naturally low in it. Vegetarians, vegans, that kind of thing.
Interesting. And there's even more. Let's talk about how creatine might help when you haven't slept well. I mean, we've all been there, all-nighter, feeling totally drained. I gotta hear more about this.
Oh yeah, and that fatigue, it's the brain. Huge energy hog, especially when we're sleep deprived.
Makes sense.
Like your brain's working overtime just to keep up with the basics when you're tired. Studies show creatine can actually improve reaction time, mood, even executive function in people who haven't slept for 24 hours.
Wait, seriously?
It's pretty remarkable.
Wow, that is remarkable. Nothing replaces sleep, obviously.
Of course not.
But to know creatine could be a buffer when we're running on empty? Pretty amazing.
Exactly. And there's even more potential benefits to explore. We haven't even talked about the potential impact on metabolic health.
You mean like blood sugar and triglycerides? Creatine could help with that too?
Yeah, it seems like it's not just about, building muscle. It's about how our bodies use and regulate energy on a much bigger scale.
This is seriously making me rethink creatine.
Right? It challenges what we thought we knew.
It's fascinating. You know what else caught my attention? In the video, Dr. Bandera mentioned he actually takes creatine daily.
Oh, interesting.
He even talked about switching brands because of like digestive issues.
Makes it more relatable, right?
Totally. It's like, okay, a doctor incorporating this into his own life makes it pay attention.
Definitely. It highlights that, doctors are just people, too, figuring out their own health,
I
like
hate
everyone
that
else.
shit. Exactly. Speaking of which, any of our listeners tried creatine? We want to hear about it. Have you noticed any of these benefits we're talking about?
Yeah, chime in. What resonates with you? What questions came up during this deep dive?
And just to be clear, this is like the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more research happening around creatine, its potential. Like, we barely touched on Alzheimer's disease.
Right, that's a whole other area. If creatine could really help with Alzheimer's, even slow it down, it'd be huge for millions of people.
Absolutely. And the same goes for, mental health, depression. It's complicated, no easy answers. But if creatine can help even a little with mood, well-being, that's a big deal.
Agreed. And don't forget the metabolic health stuff, keeping blood sugar, triglycerides in check. That's more and more important as we get older. If creatine can play a part there, could be huge for overall health, even lifespan.
It's like creatine is this gem with all these different sides, not just for gym rats anymore, could benefit anyone, any age, no matter your fitness level.
Exactly. That's what makes this so exciting. Thinking beyond the usual uses, seeing the bigger picture, there's always more to learn, even about things we think we know, like creatine.
So someone's listening thinking, okay, this is cool, but what does it mean for me? What are some key takeaways they can actually use?
I'd say the big one is don't underestimate creatine. Muscle strength, brain power, metabolic health. It's worth considering if you're looking for natural support.
For sure. And to be clear, this is a starting point. Do your own research, folks. Explore what stands out to you. Talk to your doctor. See if creatine makes sense for your goals, your health.
That's key. Everyone's different. What works for one might not for another. It's about finding what's right for you.
Before we wrap up, want to go back to Dr. Bandera mentioning those digestive issues. I know that's a concern for some people.
Yeah, it can be. Creatine can cause some, stomach upset, especially starting out.
So what to do? He suggested a specific brand, found it easier on his system. Won't mention names here, but his video has details if you're curious.
More generally, starting slow with the dose, gradually increasing, that can help your body get used to it. Minimize the discomfort.
Good tip. And always listen to your body. Any issues, stop taking it. Talk to your doctor.
Absolutely. Safety first, always.
Well, we've covered a ton today, but honestly, feels like we've just scratched the surface. Creatine, clearly more than meets the eye. So many potential benefits. Who knows what future research will show, how it can be used to improve health and well-being.
I'm with you. It's an exciting field. Can't wait to see what's next for creatine.
Easy to get caught up in the, possibilities. But let's take a moment, appreciate what we've learned, challenged our thinking, explored some cool research, understand this molecule better now.
And had a good conversation, right? Always a pleasure diving into these topics with you and with our listeners.
Totally agree. So that's it for our deep dive into the world of creatine, but don't worry, we'll be back soon. More fascinating topics to explore.
Until then, stay curious out there. So much knowledge to discover.
Who knows, maybe the next big health thing is right under our noses, like creatine.
That's science for you. Always pushing, always finding something new.
So until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and as always, thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Catch you on the next one. Skeet AA and AA.
Thanks for joining us on Conversations for a Better You. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content to help you grow. See you next time.